Program in Mombasa. Our colleague Anbro is going to be speaking with Lela Idi. Now, Lela Idi is our boxing referee and judge. They call them RNJs. And she has achieved the highest certification level for a boxing referee and judge in the world. It is known as the 3-star certification. And so we're going to be talking about that and elevating officiating standards in Kenyan boxing. So we're going to be doing that. We're going to be having a live event that is coming up, and this is the, let me get this, it is the 4th Global Tourism Forum. It's happening, and Regina Manyara is there. The event program for this event is, we're just waiting for the chief guest to arrive, the chief guest being the Deputy President, Sakidhure Kindiki, who's going to be there, the 4th Global Tourism Resilience Day. It's a conference and expo that is happening in Nairobi. So that's one story we're going to be looking at, and hopefully that in the meantime, we will be able to get and to hear from our Winter Olympic team that is in Italy, and one athlete who missed out the games because she had an injury, couldn't get a sponsor in time, Sabrina Simada, but also Issa Laborde. We could get to hear from him. But in the meantime, let us get to hear from Kenyan professional golfers who will be at the magical Kenya Open that tees off from Thursday.
Kwa majina naitwa Dismas Indiza, mkazi kutoka Kakamega. Nimecheza kutoka tangu 92 nikikuwa amateur, alafu nikaturn pro 98. Nimecheza hii mchezo kwa miaka 35. Sasa na nimeona mwaka hii kama naweza kuweza, ama bila tumejaribu kufanya kujiprepare kucheza hii Kenya Open. Nafikiri kwa Kenya mwaka hii tutafanya mzuri.
Hasa umekuwa unajiandaa kivipi? Maybe umeparticipate kwa tournaments kadhaa kabla ya hii?
Tumecheza tournament kadhaa mingi kama ya hizi big Sunshine Tour hii yenye tumecheza hii ya Mr. Kasheru alianzisha hapa Kenya. Tumecheza hii big easy not big easy Equator. Tumecheza ya kutosha kwa sababu sasa sisi wenyewe tumejiandaa kwa uzuri, kwa sababu tena wakakuja na wadhamini wamekuja kwa wingi. Mwaka jana tumecheza golf kama tournament 20 na kitu, sababu kama hii kampuni kama za zinge zimejiunga pamoja zimefanya mzuri sana kusaidia Wakenya kufanya mazoezi. Kama mwaka hii tukikosa, mwaka kesho hatutakuwa nyuma sana.
Tukimalizia, matarajio yako kwa hii Kenya Open?
Matarajio yangu sio mabaya sana. Sio bila naanza kusema masinga umbwa, niseme ati uwezi toka kichaka. Sasa hii at least tunaweza sema tumejiandaa ya kutosha. Asante.
All right, just introduce yourself, your age.
Ready?
Yep.
Morning, my name is Greg Snow from Muthaiga Golf Club, age 35.
How have you been preparing for this tournament?
Yeah, we've had 2 weeks since the last event. Just been basically practicing productively, just taking it easy, recovering as much as I could, and getting ready for this week.
All right. Maybe you can mention a few tournaments that you've participated in the past that have been like a build-up to this.
Played a few Equator Tour events and Sunshine Developmental Tour events towards the end of the season, and obviously had 2 weeks off before this event.
Finally, what are your expectations for the tournament?
Looking for top 10 would be great. Just try to play some good golf in the next 4 days and see what happens.
So let's just start with you introducing yourself, and then we go from there. So 1 minute.
My name is CJ Wangai, golf professional in Kenya and based at Sigona Golf Club. I'm currently 38 years old, and I've been playing golf since I was 9 years old. And I've gone through the ranks, and I'm a professional golfer now.
Coming to MKO, how prepared are you? And probably mention a few tournaments that you participated as a build-up to this.
Okay, so coming to MKO is that this time I'm really prepared well. in terms of fitness, in terms of mentor. So I've been engaging some of my mentor coaches. I've been engaging some of my strength conditioning coaches. And of course, up and above, I've been working on my golf swing, short game, chipping and all that. And of course, this year is a bit different because as a build-up to MKO, we have had what we call the Equator Tour, whereby some of our corporates came together and put up a tour for us. We played 8 events as a build-up, towards Magical Kenya Open. We also played the Sunshine Development Tour, about 8 or 9 or 10 events. So unlike many other times this year, we've played good events. We've played more than 20 events as a build-up to MKO, and therefore we are hoping for a very good performance.
Finally, your expectations for the tournament?
So my expectation, first achievement is to make the cut. The second one is to finish in the top 20, and I believe it's doable, and I'll go for it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Action, introduce yourself.
My name is Edwin Mudaji, professional golfer, member of Professional Golfers of Kenya. Qualified for this year's Magical Kenya Open. I've been playing golf for the last 17 years. I joined the pro ranks in 2019 after a successful amateur career. And it's been great. I mean, the build-up towards this tournament wouldn't have been successful without the support of different tours that we had last season in our qualification series. Just to mention the PGK Equator Tour, which was our main tour that led to our order of merit for qualification. And as well, Sunshine Development Tour gave us a very big push in terms of getting us to outside the country. We had an event as far as Rwanda, and it was good. Also played another event in Uganda, the Uganda Open Championship. So it was a all-round season, and it helped build up the momentum coming into this week, and I'm sure it's going to be a glorious week for Team Kenya.
Finally, expectations for MKO?
I mean, it's just I'm quite excited for this week. It's something that I've been looking forward to. With the planning that I've made, with the conditions that the course is going to be providing, I'm sure it's nothing short of just keeping it in play and having a very successful round all week to Sunday. Yeah.
Your age?
I'm 31, turning 32 at the end of this month. Cheers.
So please introduce yourself, your age, and how long have you been golf?
My name is David Waku. I'm 43 years old, and I started playing golf when I was 9 years old from Kitale, then bounced back to Nairobi. I'm based at Golf Park. That's where it's my home now. Yeah.
How have you been prepared for this tournament, and maybe mention a few other tournaments that you've played as a build-up to this?
Come again?
How have you been preparing for the Magical Kenya Open, and maybe you can mention a few tournaments that you've played as a build-up?
My preparation has been very putting much work on it, and through basically playing the local events that we've had here, the Equator Tour, that was the highway to the Kenya Open, and also the Sunshine Tour, which was held here in Kenya, in our country. So it has been a build-up of so much hard work, and also putting in much of practice at the range, and all the way to go back also to the training in terms of the gym work. And I think at the moment I'm at the right position to be able to showcase my talent.
Finally, what are your expectations for the Magical Kenya Open?
My expectations are way high this year due to the work that I've put in, and also for God enabling to be in a good position in terms of the fitness. So I think I'll work with that to ensure that I can see how I can be able to fare in this Kenya Open.
Yes, and you've had from some of the pros, Edwin Mudanyi, we've got Greg Snow, Dismas Indiza, who's actually now a senior pro. He's already over 50, which means, he'll be playing in a senior tour as we speak. David Waku also in that group. So from Thursday. How will they fare? We shall be finding out. As we get ready to hear from Ann Mboro in Mombasa, let's get to see some highlights from the FKF Premier League.
Plays into his left back. You can always know a goalkeeper who loves to play as a last man, and the danger that comes with it here. They've lost the ball. This one is in the net. It's an early 7-minute goal from Ebenezer Sifwa. Well, I'll tell you without a shadow of a doubt that it comes from just that little play between Maxwell Muchesia and his left back. It was bound to happen. Ebenezer. Well, that was a mistake. Pushed it just a little bit too far, and Alfred Onyango picks it up, places it on the feet of Asifwa, who goes on his left foot. So then wrong-footing the goalkeeper Maxwell Muchesia. A quick run by Alfred Onyango, and Kubasu Maxwell couldn't get to it. Well, the two Maxwells on the APS Bomet side will blame themselves for that. For Asifwa, a left foot was best placed to put the ball into the net away from Maxwell Muchesia. I think Gobaya have got in a second goal, and it's Duang. Jackson Duang, the South Sudanese international, who puts the ball past the goalkeeper, Maxwell Muchesia. Konora, the former Wolfsburg player who was also the coach of Gorbay. Another intention by the Bomet side. It was a header that just slipped off the hands of the goalkeeper and was put into the net by Jack Duanga. The second goal for Gorbay. And like I said, volley, but nicely then taken care of by the goalkeeper. Almost the same way you see it. And on this Gorbaya has conceded a quick goal as we're watching the celebration on the other side. MPS have pulled one back. And it's again Hansel Ochieng, the same man who scored 3 goals against Gorbaya the last time, who's taken over the captaincy as well, has made it 1 for MPS Bomet. What a tantalizing clash then. Hansel in the 82nd minute of the game. Well, he goes in very nicely and with a low header. Gets it past the goalkeeper and past the defender, Paulo Chuoga, who doesn't cut it off. It's 2-1.
Mekata Baraka Badi. Murunga anaipata Tobias. Pasi imefika Ondimo kwa Edward Omondi. Sasa Ondimo! Edward Omondi Ondimo sasa ndio huu tuliyemzoea. Anatoa magamu yake na sasa tunamfahamu. Dakika za jioni katika kipindi cha kwanza. Concentration imepungua uchache tu kwa wanajeshi. Wamechezea kichapo. Anapata goli lake la pili msimu huu Edward Omondi Ondimo. Hii itamrudisha mchezoni. Tobias alianzisha mwenyewe. Pasi kafika moja kwa moja, kajiamini kabisa. Alijaribu kufinya asione lango, lakini huu ni Edward Omondi Ondimo. Alijua wapi mpira nataka ufike. Umekwenda kukaa kwenye kamba. Bado yupo kwenye Valentine's Day. Linda lango Sylvain Rix Omondi. Lakini mahaba yake na nyavu yanaendelea. Edward Omondi Ondimo is in love with the net. Anazipenda kweli kweli nyavu za viwanja mbalimbali ndani ya ligi kuu Kenya. Semaire uzushani kuliko shani kamili. Ameutoa tu pale nje. Jakindekea bomba. Murunga. Tele anaileta ndani. Atelo Ching. Alipiga mwenyewe moja kwa moja mpaka kwenye kamba kule. Mwanajeshi hawezi akatambiwa kwake. Alinyanyua kichwa. Na ni mzuri wa crosses, lakini hapa anasema alikuwa si crossi. Ilikuwa naipiga moja kwa moja. Akili mtu wangu. Akili baba. Sasa amenyanyuka. Stand 0-0-1. Goli ile la Telena Telo Cheng la kusawazisha lile. Jobu alijaribu lakini mpira ulishuka moja kwa moja mpaka kwenye kamba. Mpira migumu kwa mlinda lango yoyote yule. Kisha akasema ni akili baba. Ilichotumika ni akili tu. Na wanajeshi sasa wakapata nguvu ya kunyanyuka.
Olympic High School in Kibera is known not only for its academics excellence through its transformative educational model, but also for nurturing sports talent, and notably basketball and soccer. And that's where Judith Auma Okumu, one of Kenya's rugby lionesses, a top player, started.
I started my rugby in high school, Form 3, 2015. Then I was playing football before I joined rugby. So it was from football to rugby.
Rugby is more physical than soccer, but she managed to adapt well in the multi-skilled sports.
The transition was easier because I was into sports, but haikuwa rahisi juu it's another sport. So kutoka kwa football to rugby, kuna hiyo uko unatumia legs, then here unatumia mikono kupass, then the rules are different.
The scrum half later joined Impala Rons, who have dominated the women's circuit, although they lost at the 2025 Impala Floodlit to Mwamba.
I was playing rugby in high school, Olympic High School. Then after Form 4, I went back home before coming to join Impala RFC. I joined Impala RFC in 2017, and that's when I got a call-up in Kenya Lionesses, that 2017 October.
And that's where she was elevated to captaincy before being given the same role in the national women's rugby team.
I play 9, but also I'm a utility player. I can play anywhere apart from forwards. Yeah, leading team. Lead team si rahisi, but I believe in my players. Anytime we play, anywhere we go. As Impala, we are we are the champions. We will always be champions for the circuit, local circuit. Wanaweza kaa kando kidogo.
Auma has starred for the Lionesses in Rugby Sevens as assistant captain or co-captain, if you like, although she's also featured.
Always fun whenever you get to hear the stories from these rugby players, but that's the ace. But right now, let's move over to our colleague, Anne Mboro, who's in Mombasa. And the reason we've got this story coming through is because we've got Leila Idi, who this month was certified as a 3-star boxing referee and judge. That is the highest level you can achieve, and she's the first woman in East Africa to earn the 3-star status. Anne Mboro, over to you in Mombasa.
Good morning to you too, Daniel Wahome, back at Broadcasting House, and I'm coming live to you from Sauti House in Mombasa County, where I will be joined by a boxing referee and judge, Madam Leila, who's just going to tell us about her journey being a judge and referee in this sport of boxing. Karibu sana on set, Madam Leila. You'll begin with your names first, and then you'll tell us how you got to be a judge and a referee in the boxing arena.
I am Leila Said Idi. I came from Mombasa. I am referee and judge, BFK, Mombasa, Kenya.
So how did you join boxing?
I joined boxing on 2013 as a national, and on 2024 I do my 1-star at Tanzania. 2024 again I do star 2 in Nairobi, and last year 2025 I do my star 3 when we have African Zone 3 in Nairobi Kasarani.
Ni kipi kilikuvutia kwa ndondi?
Kwa ndondi nilipenda tu hiyo mchezo kwa sababu watoto wangu walikuwa wanaipenda. Sasa na mimi ikawa ninaenda sana, sasa ikanivutia.
Kwa nini ukaamua uwe judge na pia uwe referee na si ati uwe mwanandondi? Kama kweli ilikuvutia.
Sasa hiyo time ilikuwa nishasonga kidogo, nishazaa. Sasa ilikuwa siwezi kurudi.
So labda utueleze tu, wewe kama referee pale kwa ring, kabla kupigana, ni kipi ambacho unatakana ufanye? Kabla wale ambao wanatakana wewe kwa boxing ring, ni kipi wewe kama referee ama judge unatakana ufanye?
Unatakana wakague wale ambao wanataka kupigana, kama red na blue, unaenda kuangalia kama wamevaa mouth guard, gloves iko sawa, wamevaa ile ya ndani ya kuprotect hiyo mali yao.
So when a judge sits at the ringside during the fights and scores points per round, labda how do you score points for the boxer in amateur boxing na wale na sasa hivi vile tunatumia teknolojia?
Pardon?
Tuseme hawa watu the boxers wako kwa ring tayari. So maybe how do they get the scores wakati wanapigana? How do you judge for you to be able to get those scores? And pia wakati wewe pia ni referee, unaweza pia kutueleza wanapataje hizo scores?
Me, I'm not judging. Me, I'm only referee. We have judges side the ring. We have 5 judges or 3 judges.
Sasa wewe kama referee wapatiaje mtu points wakati uko pale kwa ring, kwa sababu kuna wakati labda wamepigana, labda sasa ile unawaseparate, what happens exactly?
Mimi sipeani ring. Mimi ninaangalia tu vile na ninawachezesha. Kama wameshikana nitasema wa separate, kama mtu amepigwa vibaya nitamkauntia hivyo.
So what is the training process in the 1-star referee and judge?
Training ni masomo tu. Huwa tunafanya theory na tunafanya practicals.
So kando na hiyo practicals na hiyo yote ambayo mnafanya, labda ni kipi utatueleza wakati unafanya hiyo refereeing, kwa hiyo wakati upate ku get to the 1-star and 2nd star and the 3rd star, labda utatueleza kwa upana, utueleze tu ni vipi mtu anakuwa kupata ile 1-star, 2nd star na 3rd star yenye umeweza kupata.
Okay. Kwanza ukiwa umeanza national, itabidi uende hizo games za Boxing Federation of Kenya. Uende mwanzo practice, uende sana hizo zao za national. Kisha wao wenyewe watakuchagua uende kwa star 1. Alafu pia hiyo nyingine ni hivyo. Lazima uwe una follow games za national. Ndio ukiwa umepita hiyo star 1 watakuchagua tena uende star 2.
So as a star 3 official, how does one get to do tournaments starting with regional, continental and international?
In star 3, your name now is in IBA. Your record is in IBA. When there is a big tournament, you'll get an invitation from there.
Maybe how uta-encourage vipi wanawake wengine waweze kujoin boxing na wewe pia referees kama wewe ulivyo referee kwa sasa?
Ninawaambia wakaribie, mchezo wa boxing si mbaya. Ni lazima ujitume kwa kila jambo. Hakuna kitu rahisi, lazima upambane.
Labda hizo opportunities ziko ama ni nini hasa unafanya ndio uweze kupata hizo opportunities? Just encourage the women out there.
Opportunities ziko. Ni lazima wewe ujitolee. Lazima wewe ujitolee. Kwa sababu hauwezi kupenda kitu kama husongei karibu. Lazima usongee karibu, fuatilie, useme hii boxing inaanzaje. Uanze kuuliza maswali, utafika tu.
Sawa. Karibu sana on set Bwana Crispin ambaye ni secretary wa boxing. You'll also try and tell us what exactly happens during the boxing tournaments.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name's Crispin Pito Nyango. I'm the Secretary General of Mombasa.
Well, and there you've had it from Leila Edie. Braided looks shy, but in the ring, she is a big story. Now, let's get to see this. And we are looking at the 4th Global Tourism Resilience Day Conference and Expo. And this, we could see that Kenya's aviation growth, would have an investment during and, the changing federation and also the changing global standards. So the CS for Tourism, Rebecca Miano, Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki are expected there. So let us move over to the 4th Global Tourism and Resilience Day Conference and Expo.
Crisis response. And finally, sustainability as a non-negotiable. Climate consensus tourism is no longer optional. It is the foundation of competitiveness, resilience, and intergenerational equity. Distinguished guests, another crisis is not a matter of if, but when. The true measure of leadership is what we do before disruption strikes. Let us therefore move from reaction to anticipation, fragmentation to collaboration, and vulnerability to resilience by design. When governments, industry, academia, and communities act together, tourism becomes more than an industry. It becomes a force for stability, peace, and shared prosperity. Ladies and gentlemen, the future of tourism will belong to destinations and institutions that invest today in knowledge, preparedness, and transformation. At Kenyatta University, we remain committed to advancing research, shaping policy, and developing human capital that enables tourism to thrive in an uncertain world. May this conference inspire bold ideas, concrete partnerships, and actionable commitments. Together, let us ensure that tourism does not merely recover from crisis, but emerges stronger because of them. Thank you for your attention. Asante sana.
Thank you so much, Professor. Let's appreciate him one more time with a clap. Asante sana. In the meantime, I have a special request before I invite our next speaker. And I would like our DJ, if you can hear me. That's the reason why we decided this tourism thing is not just about serious things. It's also about the fact that tourism in itself gives us a relaxing mode, all right? So DJ, did you listen to that song Sarah Cassie had? That particular song is what I want you to play as I invite our next guest. That Sarah Cassie song is what I want you to just prepare it. I'll buy you a minute or so. In the meantime, though, I'd like you to look at the person sitting next to you. And if they are of the same gender with you, I am so sorry. Because sometimes it's not easy to do this, all right? So I'd like you to do this. Just discuss who has the best phone. Look at each other's phone, that kind of thing. Because I want us to take a selfie, PS. I want us to take a selfie, that kind of a thing. Because this is tourism. And tourism is about showcasing that we're doing this. Hello. This is not a research conference. It's all about sometimes talking about tourism. Are we ready? Are you ready? Excellent. Now, get out your phone. If it's the type that doesn't have a good camera, just leave it. Tell your neighbor to do that. We want to do that. Don't worry about it. I'm going to help my PSs here because they're here and they're very set. I'm going to help them with the selfie. PS, don't worry. I think my phone is better. It's a good joke. It's a good joke. So can I have the power one? Can I have the power one with you? Excellent. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Because we're going to share this. We're going to share this together. There you go. 3, 2, 1, go. Don't worry even about that. It's done. It's done. Yeah, nimemshika kabisa. Let me just do one more. Yeah, the three of us, like that, right? 3, 2, 1, go. And the people at the back are smiling, so they're caught, right? Excellent. I'll be telling you why we need to shout about this. And we are here for the 4th Global Tourism Resilience Day. DJ, do you have it now? Because my guest wants that particular song. So if you're there, play it now, release it now, so we can be able to do that. I'll be able to tell you what happens. There you go. My goodness. That's the one. Absolutely, absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Professor Lloyd Waller, the Executive Director, Global Tourism, Resilience and Crisis Management Center. Come on, give me the music. You wanted it. There you go. Well done. Come on. Now, everybody stand for a moment. Stand for a moment. We're going to do this together. Hey, 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 hey. Come on, Professor. Let's show them a move. Come here. Slowly. Well done. Dance like him. Come on. Just do it. Sweat. Sweat. Yeah. Hey. Come on. A round of applause to Prof. Well done and Karibu Sana.
Mr. Masters of Ceremony, I too was a little concerned about the dancers pulling the persons in the front seat on the stage, especially the last set of dancers, because I was busy trying to contemplate how on earth they would lift me up to the top, because I'm not particularly a small guy. Ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. I have the privilege and the opportunity to welcome you here today at the 4th Global Tourism Resilience Conference. And I'm taking this opportunity to outline what I would say would be the 7 moments that got us here. And I'll start with the first one. As a matter of fact, this is what many persons would want to call an origin story. So I'll start with the first one. So first of all, a question. Who in here can tell me what does Apple, GitHub, Wordy Park, and Vita Coca, which is the coconut, the very popular coconut drink. These are 4 Fortune 500 companies. Who in here can tell me what they have in common with the GTR CMC? If you can tell me, I can promise you get a free flight to Jamaica, stay for a week, and a free flight back to Kenya. Who can tell me? Please. Sorry, the dancing was a little bit hectic. Can you know what? Just put up your hand, just make a guess. They were all started in a bar. GTR CMC was actually started in a bar, and I don't even think Minister Bartlett remembers this situation. I was at a bar, minding my own business, when my principal came to me and said to me that the Minister of Tourism, who was also at the bar, minding his own business, is interested in an advisor. And I quickly took on the opportunity. The second moment was a conference that was held in 2017 on jobs. And the outcome of the conference was what was called the Montego Bay Declaration. Now, out of the declaration was a recommendation for a specific center or institution or space that can facilitate conversations about resilience and tourism resilience. You see, resilience was an emerging conversation on the global scene. However, nobody was talking about it within the context of tourism, and so there was a kind of gap that needed to be filled. The third moment was actually the formation of the Global Tourism Resilience and Crisis Management Center, which was established 6 months after the call for a center. And you can go on the website, it will outline everything that is on the website. The fourth moment was the first conference 4 years ago. Phenomenal. We had persons from all over the world, but unfortunately, out of the conference, we realized something that was very sad. Not many persons understood what tourism resilience was. Many persons could understand how to do tourism resilience. It was a foreign concept at the time. So, Minister Bartlett and myself decided to take on what can only be referred to as a pilgrimage to learn more about tourism resilience and to research about tourism resilience. And that has been a whirlwind, Minister, to be quite frank. We've traveled all over the world, meeting a number of world leaders, and we were able to make some very substantive, sorry, I'm so sorry, I danced on the stage and did some calorie work, but anyway. And, you know, it was a real honor to walk with Minister and learn about it. The next moment essentially came with the expansion of the centers. We realized that we were Jamaica, we needed to have a global conversation about the GTR CMC, so we started with the establishment of the centers. The first center was here. The most successful center is here. I'd like to just please applaud, and I'm going to kindly ask Esther. Where is Esther? Esther, please come here. Dr. Karaoke. I pronounced the name properly, didn't I? Please come here. Esther, don't let this statue fool you. Esther has been a rock here for the GTR CMC. She has transformed it to heights that we never thought was possible, to be quite frank. And the humility, the desire to learn and to network was built into Esther. And Dr. Kuguri has, well, big feet to follow, but it has already started. And it's evidenced by where we are right here now. It has already started with this particular event. So thank you, and thank you very much, colleagues. The seventh moment was this day, the establishment of the Global Tourism Resilience Day. I never knew I would ever participate in a project that would allow for me to say that Global Tourism Resilience Day was something that I participated in. It was led by Minister Bartlett with the support of the Prime Minister, the team from the Ministry of Tourism. I'm going to kindly ask Mr. Dobson, Fiona, who worked on it, please stand. Christina, who had to do the back end, please stand. And it was also supported by the team, by the GTR CMC. Damien, Jackie, please stand. And it was supervised with someone who I have had the pleasure to work with, and it has been a whirlwind. Minister Bartlett, please stand. I don't want to take the opportunity to talk about Minister because it would take all evening. Passion is the word that I could use to describe him. And I've learned a lot in terms of passion in this regard. So that has been the journey. And today, Minister, we are here. We are here in Kenya after 4 years. I mean, I could never imagine that we're here today, but it just goes to show hard work, dedication, passion, ingenuity, imagination, innovation, all contributed to where we are right now. And speaking of innovation, going forward, we are in the process of developing several applications to help the tourism space with Gen AI. We're experimenting with Gen AI. That will be the next level of GTR CMC. We've already engaged a number of engineers to develop apps to support the sector. So I'm particularly excited about that. But thank you very much, everyone, for having me. Minister, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Today is going to be a wonderful day. Thank you for getting me here today. Thank you very much, everyone.
One more time. Let's appreciate Prof one more time. Beautiful one. Asante sana. Thank you so much. And I think, Prof, that dance has done you good, right? Excellent, excellent. Well, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. But anyway, when you're in Jamaica, a dance is a must, right? Excellent. Asante sana. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me now to segue to our other remarks. And in the house as well, we have the one and only, our PS, who is in the house and is going to be coming. And as well also acknowledge some of his colleagues who are here, quite a number of them. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Honorable John Ololtua, the Principal Secretary, State Department for Tourism, Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. The Cabinet Secretary for Tourism and Wildlife in the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Rebecca Miano, Honorable Ministers from the following countries. Let me begin with the Honorable Minister for Jamaica, Honorable Edmund Bartlett, the Honorable Minister of South Sudan, Honorable Denai Jok Chago, the Honorable Minister, Democratic Republic of Congo, Honorable Kwete Lobo, the Secretary of State in the Ministry of Tourism from Angola, Honorable Augusto Laurindo, my brother, Professor Wala, who has played a critical role in this process, Honorable international delegates from various countries across the region. We have delegates from Jamaica, and I think when I mention the country, let's just, the Kenyan way, we shout with joy in the Kenyan way. So let me begin with Jamaica. Jamaica. Saudi Arabia. Zambia, Ghana, United Arab Emirates, Rwanda, Somalia, Angola, Uganda, Kenya. Dr. Esther, you need to tell me whether there is any country I have not mentioned. I am very sure. And in case there is any country I have not mentioned, let us just give a round of applause for any other country, if there is any, that I have not mentioned. My PS colleagues who are present here today, we have Dr. Boniface Makoa, who is the PS Economic Planning, and we have Professor Shaukat Abdul Rasak, who is the PS Science, Research and Innovation. Our Vice Chancellor, Kenyatta University, Professor John Okumu, the Kenya Tourism Federation members who are present here. There are very many. I cannot mention you by name. All our CEOs, chairpersons, members of boards, the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife officials in its entirety, the County Commissioner Nairobi North, Bwana Simon Osumba, who is just with us here, together with the security team who are represented here. All distinguished delegates, both international and local, and all protocols observed. Good morning. How are you? Thank you very much. Before I make one or two remarks, and thereafter invite the Honorable Minister from Jamaica, I would like to give my two colleagues just to come and say their names and a word. I will start with Dr. Makoha, just to come forward and say something, and then followed by Professor Shaukat. Then from there, I'll make one or two remarks as we move on with the program. Welcome, Bwana PS.
The CS, my colleague PSS, I want to ride on the protocol already observed and established. Allow me to start off by quickly appreciating all of you and just letting you know that I'm the PS for economic planning. And Madam CS, allow me also to appreciate one very special, important person before I make a few remarks, maybe 2 or 3 points. I have in the house my teacher who made me into what I am today, Professor Okumu. Please, let's appreciate Professor Okumu. He trained me at Kenyatta University in the physics department. He also gave me a departmental scholarship for the 2 years I was there. So I would be doing myself injustice if I don't mention him. So quickly, economic planning. I know we are looking at the resilience, but I want to say that economic planning serves as the strategic framework for building a resilient economy by shifting from reactive disaster response to proactive, risk-informed development. CS, I want to appreciate that tourism sector, from the economic planning point of view, plays a very significant role in our economy by creating a demand for services that enhance comfort, convenience, and overall visitor experience. I also want to mention that the inbound tourism, according to the KNBS statistics that we have, contributes to around 1.6% of our GDP. These are attributed to hotels and restaurants. However, as a department, in collaboration with my colleague PS Tourism, as it is international best practices, we want to establish a tourism satellite account. This will help to measure the true value of our tourism contribution to GDP. But quickly, what we have is that the projection we're projecting is that tourism will contribute around 1.2 trillion to GDP, around 7%, if we are able to do that. And what we have noted as a department is that tourism has contributed to employment. Around 1.7 jobs have been created. When you look at the foreign exchange, it is the leading source of foreign currency, essential for economic stability. It is also tourism has stimulated infrastructure. We have roads, we have airports, and medical facilities, courtesy of a lot of tourism activity. Finally, tourism from where we stand also contributes to revenue from parks, especially park fees, and eco-tourism support. With these remarks, just highlighting the importance of tourism to our economy from the economic point of view, allow me to welcome the visitors from all the countries that I've mentioned. Feel at home and ensure that you enjoy the hospitality of Kenya without missing nyama choma. Asante sana, Bwana PS, for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for Daktari again. Professor, the podium is yours also to say hi. Welcome.
Thank you very much. PS, let me take the opportunity to recognize the presence of our CS, Her Excellency Rebecca Miano, the ministers from various countries who are present here, my colleagues, the principal secretaries, the leaders in this industry. I would like to stand also on the established protocols. I'll be very brief. I look at the matters of science, research, and innovation, in this country. And I think this theme is very important. When we look at the matters of resilience, it is not an issue of being reactive. We have to ensure that we are very proactive. In addition to what my colleague, PS Planning, has alluded to earlier, in terms of how we have contributed to economic, the GDP, infrastructure, and so on and so forth, we have to ensure that we can be able to have evidence-based planning. And I'm glad that universities in Kenya, research institutions, are in that trajectory to ensure that we can have a sort of a knowledge-based economy that will also be able to contribute into this space. The other thing that I want to share and encourage us to take along with us is the digital innovation. We are in the world of artificial intelligence, the big data, and the digital platform as well. So really we want to ensure that we can fully embrace, build synergies, collaboration, and break the silos. The other two more important things that I want to share with you is the issue of the climate resilience and sustainability. We have to ensure that we are having mitigation and adaptation of climate change. And this is all in the heart of tourism and resilience in that case. And of course, in so doing, we need to continue building capacity and capability, training and bringing the academia, the government, the research institutions, and also the private sector. Last but not least, resilient is inclusive. So we have to ensure we carry along women, the youth, and of course the local communities. And my last information, Minister CS, that I want to share is we are in the process of setting up innovation and incubation hubs in different parts of this country so that we can take full advantage of the diversity that we have and enhance this tourism sector and making sure that we have the resilience that we are looking for. Asanteni sana, and I wish you all a very fruitful deliberations, and for our visitors, welcome to Kenya and sample the best that we have. Asante sana.
A round of applause for Professor. As I indicated earlier, I will take the shortest time possible, but let me also recognize three key people, and I will, as I mentioned, they just stand because they play a very critical role. Madam Lydia Legami. This madam here is the Commandant Tourist Police Unit. All our tourists really enjoy the security under our coordination. Thank you so much, madam, for the good work that you are doing. The Deputy GSO Commandant, Mr. Kamau, where are you? Thank you very much for the good work that you are doing. And we also have the Deputy Police Commandant, Nairobi, Mr. Arero. Where are you? So, thank you very much. As I indicated, mine is just to do some welcome remarks. My Honorable Minister will be able to deliver all the key areas that we wanted to look at. So first and foremost, let me also take this opportunity to welcome all our delegates to Kenya. And I'm sure since yesterday when you arrived, when we had the opening dinner, and a few other areas that you may have visited, I'm sure you are already enjoying the warmth and hospitality of the Kenyan people. So let me welcome you so much. Feel at home, feel good, even as we discuss about resilience. Secondly, this important fourth Global Tourism Resilience Conference Day and Expo has come at the right time. And I think, Honorable Minister from Jamaica, I'm personally very happy with the process that began and continued up to where it is today. And Kenyatta University has played a critical role, as you have mentioned. And I'm sure, therefore, as we delve into the discussions, which begin today after the official opening, and as we continue tomorrow and the day after tomorrow before the closing, we will have discussed more on tourism resilience. I therefore want to invite every participant to be able to contribute their best as we discuss this important theme that is very, very relevant, not just in this country, but across the region. So I don't want to say more than that. I just want to say we are indeed very happy, very honored to have all of you. And we will move together as one. I'm sure We will transform the world into a world that is very resilient in everything that we do. With those very many remarks, you know, I'm a teacher by profession, so that's why I said I will summarize, but I found myself adding more. So with those very remarks, where is this master of ceremony? Yeah, there should be some nice song. I don't know how the song looks like, because I'm inviting a very, very person here. Can I hear the song a bit as I invite the Honorable Minister of
as nimble as the professor. Right? And so I was really looking for another song. No doubt it will come at the end. And then you'll see how nimble my feet are. What a wonderful moment it is for us, and particularly for us coming from the Caribbean. And I want to begin my opening remarks by saying how particularly proud we are as the diaspora to return home and to be able to experience what is for us a reverse diaspora. Because we in the Caribbean have been the product of Africa, and we have gained much from being in the Caribbean. But it is time now for us to give back to Africa. And I feel that sense. And a wonderful occasion it is for us too, in terms of the warm hospitality and the spirit of fraternity and familial relation that we feel here in Kenya in particular, and certainly in Africa overall. Jamaica has a particular affinity to Kenya, as is known. And we feel a sense of oneness, not just from our kindred spirit and our phenotype, but certainly from political arrangements too, as it was Jamaica's partnership with the great hero, Jomo Kenyatta, that enabled the liberation process that decolonized this wonderful land from the British. Dudley Thompson, a Jamaican attorney, was in fact Jomo Kenyatta's attorney and carried him through the difficult period. And that spirit of oneness and bond has maintained itself throughout the years. And it was to our joy that then President Kenyatta visited Jamaica recently, and it is out of that engagement too that today's event, in fact, has materialized. So I want to begin by greeting my sister, Minister, in your context, Secretary of Cabinet, in our context, Minister, the Honorable Rebecca Miano, who has become the symbol of resilience and become also the crucible through which this critical element of tourism is being transmitted in the eastern side of Africa in particular, and the Indian Ocean area in general. My distinguished minister colleagues who are here with us from the countries within the African continent, our Principal Secretary, the Honorable John Olotua, our Acting Vice Chancellor of the University, and our distinguished presenters and speakers who have come from all over the world to share in today's engagement and in fact to celebrate with us on February 17th, the 4th renewal of Global Tourism Resilience Day. So it is a profound honor for me to join you here in Nairobi, in the heart of the magnificent Republic of Kenya, as we commemorate the Global Tourism Resilience Day 2026. We extend our deepest appreciation to the government and people of Kenya for their warm hospitality and for hosting us in a nation whose tourism product is both iconic and inspirational. From the sweeping savannas of the Masai Mara and the breathtaking wildlife that defines Kenya's world-renowned safari experience, to the pristine beaches of the Indian Ocean coastlines, the vibrant cultural heritage of its communities, and the dynamism of Nairobi as a leading conference and innovation hub in Africa, Kenya exemplifies the power of tourism to drive economic transformation, community empowerment, and sustainable development. I thank the Cabinet Secretary for her leadership and for the example she's setting as an example of modern tourism governance that is strategic, evidence-driven, and rooted in partnership. I also salute Kenyatta University for anchoring knowledge at the center of resilience, because resilience without research becomes guesswork, and guesswork is expensive in a crisis. It is therefore fitting that we gather in this remarkable destination to advance our shared commitment to building a more resilient, inclusive, and sustainable global tourism architecture. We gather here today in a time of crisis, a time when disruption is no longer occasional, but constant, when risk is no longer distant, but daily. We gather at a moment shaped by multiple overlapping crises. One, a climate crisis, bringing stronger storm floods, droughts, wildfires, and rising heat that strains infrastructure and shorten recovery cycles. Two, a health security crisis where new outbreaks and public health shocks can still halt mobility and disrupt confidence. Three, a geopolitical crisis where conflict and tension can redirect travel flows overnight, in fact, and raise costs across tourism value chain. And fourth, an economic crisis marked by inflation, high debt, rising energy costs, and supply chain volatility that pressures businesses and households alike. Fifth, a security crisis where instability and safety concerns can weaken visitor confidence and disrupt communities. And sixth, an accelerated digital crisis where cyber threats can shut down systems, expose data, interrupt payments and travel operations, and where misinformation and disinformation can damage a destination's reputation in hours, undermining trust with a single false narrative. And yet, this is precisely why we're here. We're here because crisis must not be our destiny. We are here because tourism must not merely survive disruptions. Tourism must redesign and withstand it. We are here to transform tourism from vulnerable to resilient, from reactive to ready, from recovery to renewal. And we meet here under a theme that declares our intention with clarity, from crisis to transformation. Tourism is not just an industry, ladies and gentlemen. Tourism is a lifeline. Tourism is jobs, direct and indirect. Tourism is enterprise, small businesses, community tours, transportation, food, culture, and craft. Tourism is foreign exchange that strengthens public services, education, healthcare, infrastructure, and community development. But tourism is also uniquely exposed because tourism depends on confidence. When confidence falls, arrivals fall. When arrivals fall, jobs fall. When jobs fall, families feel it immediately. And that is why the world needs a Tourism Resilience Day. We need a day that keeps relevance and keeps resilience at the agenda, the heart of it all, even when new cycles move on. A day that forces us to plan before we panic. A day that insists that preparedness is not a luxury, it is a responsibility. Tourism Resilience Day exists because resilience is not seasonal. Resilience is not optional. Resilience is not a paragraph in a policy paper. Resilience is a discipline, lived, practiced, tested, and renewed. So this day did not appear by accident. It was built step by step, crisis by crisis, lesson by lesson. It began with a recognition that tourism needed more than promotion. It needed protection. More than recovery plans, it needed resilience and architecture. More than hope, it needed systems. We listened to destinations that were battered by storms, and Jamaica just had that experience less than 4 months ago. We listened to communities whose income disappeared when arrivals closed. We listened to operators who were brilliant at service, but vulnerable to shocks they did not cause and could not control. And we made a decision. We will not accept crisis as a destiny. We began building a global platform, one that could convene nations, translate experiences into evidence, and turn resilience into the new standard for tourism governance and practice. And we didn't do it alone. The Global Tourism Resilience and Crisis Management Center has become a collective global think tank, a living network of centers, universities, experts, private sector partners, multilateral allies, and governments working together to shape a new global tourism reality, one where resilience is not an afterthought, but a foundation. From that journey came a milestone, Tourism Resilience Day. And I'm so proud to have led that path myself at the UN at its annual special session in February of 2023, when 94 countries acceded to the resolution that I moved and voted while I spoke in favor of the day. So, this day matters because it creates a global rhythm, a drumbeat that calls tourism to readiness. On this day, governments align policy and preparedness. The private sector strengthens continuity and crisis response. Communities deepen safety nets and local linkages. Universities drive research, training, and innovation. Young people see tourism not only as employment, but as a future, skilled, modern, and resilient. This day is not about ceremony. It is about capability. It is about standards. It is about systems. And it also strengthens South-to-South cooperation, because the Global South cannot afford to confront global risk in isolation. Africa and the Caribbean, Latin America and Asia, the Pacific and the Indian Ocean. Our regions are exposed to climate shocks, economic volatility, external market shifts, and digital vulnerabilities. But we also share strengths, ingenuity under pressure, strong communities, and a history of rebuilding. Tourism Resilience Day becomes a bridge where we exchange tools, share strategies, build training pipelines, and spread solutions faster than threats can spread. The impact of tourism resilience and the emerging threats that we must face. What does resilience really produce when it is real? Resilience produces continuity, so businesses do not collapse at the first disruption. Resilience produces faster recovery, so jobs return sooner and communities stabilize quicker. Resilience produces faster recovery. Resilience produces confidence, so travelers keep choosing destination even in uncertain times. But to move from crisis to transformation, we must name the threats that now define the next decade. And what are they? Yes, climate. Yes, health security. Yes, geopolitics. Yes, economic shocks. And yes, public safety. But today we must also confront the digital battlefield, because two threats are now shaping tourism outcomes more than many people realize. Misinformation is not merely noise. And indeed, those two threats are misinformation and disinformation. And I may want to add a third, fake news. So misinformation is not merely noise. It is economic damage. A false story can empty hotels. A distorted clip can trigger cancellations. A fabricated advisory can punish a destination that is safe and ready. Disinformation is worst because it is intentional. It weaponizes fear. It manipulates perception, and it attacks confidence, the very energy that tourism needs to breathe. Cyber threats are not abstract. A ransomware attack can shut down reservation payments, airports, and hotel operations. A data breach can expose visitors and citizens, erode trust, and trigger costly consequences. An outrage can interrupt movements, logistics, and safety. The modern traveler demands convenience, but convenience without cyber safety becomes vulnerability. That is why resilience today means defending not only the destination infrastructure, but the destination's information space. Not only the tourism product, but the tourism reputation. Not only the physical journey, but the digital journey. And this is where the Global Tourism Resilience and Crisis Management Center and its global partners have transformed tourism. By mainstreaming resilience, by building capacity, by convening knowledge, and by transferring learning across borders, so that one destination's hard lesson becomes another destination's early warning. And as we speak of the future demands that we move from resilience as a reaction to resilience as a design, because transformation is not accidental, it is engineered. And if resilience is to be engineered, two forces must lead it: research and convening. And this is what Kenya is doing, and is doing so well. And that's why we're so proud of you. So looking ahead, we must expand thought leadership. We must have more conferences. We must write more books. We must create more toolkits and indeed more training. We must deepen engagement with destination and governments so resilience becomes embedded in policy, investment, and operations. We must strengthen cyber readiness and data protection across the value chain. And we must build stronger systems for truth and trust so misinformation can be confronted quickly with credible information. We will also embrace technology so resilience becomes personal and accessible. Apps and AI-powered tools with guidance, alerts, and training at our fingertips. Trusted updates channels during crises. Decision support tools that help operations know what to do, when to do it, and how to recover. Indeed, the future will not reward those who only have impressive and impulsive responses. The future will reward those who are prepared for storms and prepared for digital attacks and prepared for reputational shocks. In closing, I want to indicate that we at the Global Tourism Resilience Center in Kingston, Jamaica, have gone beyond the mere discussion of these threats that I've indicated. We have sought to codify two. And tomorrow, we will launch a book on the issue of destination reputational disruptions and the imperative of building resilience in that context. We hope that the deliberations over the next 2 days will strengthen our understanding of the 5 critical touch points of resilience: the ability to forecast it, to mitigate against it when it comes, to manage it as it will in fact come, and then to recover quickly, and finally to thrive. God bless you, and thanks.
Wow, wow, wow. What a very inspiring message. A round of applause for Honorable Minister. A round of applause. With those, can we produce the normal sound ile ya kuchia kabisa? Hello? Who knows how to do it? Yeah? Hello. Ah, yeah? 1, 2, 3. Wow. We are almost now reaching at the climax. And the MC, I'm sure you're preparing a song that will be ushering in the chief guest.
Yes.
We have our cabinet secretary, Honorable Rebecca Miano, who is our chief guest today, representing the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Professor Kithure Kindiki. So as we usher her in, the minister who is coming in on behalf of His Excellency the Deputy President, I would like that we be upstanding as we sing that song. I don't know what the song is. Can it go on? Can it go on?
Yes. Starting right away. Wanna PS. DJ, over to you. Release it now. Let us just have that moment. In the meantime, why don't you stretch and tell the person sitting next to you, what did you get? You know, as I check whether the PS fit. Are you ready, Buana PS, for this thing? Eh?
Yes, I'm ready.
I'm also ready as well. DJ, do you have it? Play it now. Release it now. Because we're more than ready to bring in our chief guest in the house. Come on, DJ, play it now. Do not worry, the DJ had gone on strike. You know why? He was saying he needs to be taken to a destination in Kenya. I know, he will go. So don't worry, your request has been made. So if you don't mind, 3, 2, go, DJ. Come on, release it. Give it now. He's counting me down. 3, 2, 1, go. By the way, Buona P.S., one more thing. I don't know whether you know how to pronounce words in the Jamaican style. Can I teach you one? Yes. I'm going to teach you here. Just watch me. The word is situation, all right? Please pronounce that word for him in the Jamaican way. Situation.
Situation?
Yes. Situation. There's a way that you do that, all right?
Situation. Just for clarity, so the Jamaican dialect is a combination.
We're ready for this one up here. Excellent. Come on, DJ. DJ, give us that. Okay, so everybody just move your feet a bit as the CS is coming up. Please come in style on the CS. Excellent. A round of applause to her. She does one more better for that. Well done. CS, do you want to show them? Just follow. One step. There, that's it. Everybody go. One piece. Come on. You ready? Let's go down. Come on, appreciate our CS. A round of applause. Thank you so much. And thank you, DJ.
Can have our seats.
Thank you.
Before I say much, I would like to welcome my colleagues to just come up here and say hi from DRC, Kwete. My colleague ministers, just to say bonjour. Bonjour. Enchanté.
Je tenais à dire bonjour au ministre ici représenté et bonjour à notre pays frère, le Kenya. La RDC notre pays.
DRC, our country,
vous remercier sincèrement
is appreciating for this ceremony
pour assister dans ces assises de conférence de Global Résilience.
for being a member and participant of this Global Resilience Conference,
qui est d'office le catalyseur de développement,
which is charged with catalyzing the development of tourism in all the countries in Africa.
Alors voilà le mot le plus essentiel que je tenais à m'adresser à cette assemblée.
And therefore, that's the reason as to why he is here to address this assembly.
Merci.
Thank you so much.
Merci. Honorable Denny Jok, the Minister from South Sudan.
Thank you so much. I'm delighted to be here. Excellency, Honorable Rebecca Miano, thanks for the invitation that you have granted to your close friends in South Sudan. The people of South Sudan greet all of you. And I'm sure every one of you might have a friend from South Sudan. I'm very delighted personally to be here to participate in this wonderful conference. And personally, I think that human connection starts with tourism. Any business, any investors that you are interacting with here in Kenya once came to Kenya as a tourist. You should know that. And you too, going to another country to invest or to explore, you would once go to that country as a visitor. And in your passport, you would have a tourist visa stamps on it. That means human connections starts with tourism. And so in this case, we should also have the tourism sector as the pioneer of our global development. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And finally, Honorable Augusto from Angola. Welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Honorable Minister. It's a pleasure for Angola to be here, to learn with Kenya, to learn with all the participants on this conference, because we understand that tourism is connections, and these connections should be not only with peoples, but with countries. And we, in Africa, we face the same problems, so we should address together these problems. So thank you very much for inviting us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have delegations from very many countries, as you have heard from the protocols that were set. And I want to thank you very much, my brother, the Minister of Tourism from Jamaica, Edmond, who is our tourism encyclopedia in terms of tourism, resilience, and crisis management. And to be honest, he's one of the longest serving tourism ministers I have ever met, having served 14 years as a minister for tourism. I have personally served 1 year and 6 months, so you can imagine how much more experience.
And that has been the 4th Global Tourism Resilience Day opening ceremony that is happening at the KICC. And our reporter is Regina Manyara. We shall be getting back to that story, but now let's move over to Italy and also Austria as we speak to representatives from Team Kenya who are at the Winter Olympics. And we have got the president of Skiing Kenya, Mr. Philip Boit, who's also Kenya's first ever Winter Olympian. So let's move over. And a very good morning to you, Bwana Boit. Issa Labord Ditbre. Hi, how are you? Good morning to you, Issa. All right, yes, it's a pleasure for you, and I can see that your mom and dad are there. It's a pleasure to have you with us coming in from Milan. And let's just get to this straight to you, Issa. Second time donning the Kenyan flag. The last time was in 2024 at the Junior Olympics, and doing alpine skiing. And could you just tell me about the last 2 years and how you've grown in the sport? Okay, yes. And so what we have coming through but from Milan is, from the pictures that we can see, is Philip Boit. We've got Issa Labordipri. He is a Kenyan alpine skier. He was in the giant slalom on Saturday. And yes, so what we are, he was there on Saturday. And Issa, let me see if I can actually get to hear you through the speakers now. So Issa, just tell us about the last 2 years representing the country, and that was at the Winter Youth Olympics, and also now having to come to the Winter Olympics in Milano Cortina, and you are in action on Saturday. So you could just tell us through your growth as an alpine skier.
And we are now here, so we are really happy about that.
Well, it's very good to hear that. And Bonaboit, I know it was quite a journey for you, having been the chef de mission for Kenya's pioneering Winter Olympian. It started with the downhill cross-country skiing, and then in charge of Sabrina's Zimada, and that was in for the 2016 Youth Olympic Games, and moving on to the other Winter Games where you're in charge. How have you seen the progression of Kenyan alpine skiers over the last 10 years, to speak?
It's impressive. As I can see, since we started in 2016 Youth Olympic in Wahome, then coming to 2018 Olympic in Pyeongchang, and now I could see the performance of Isa, and I could follow it up, and for me, I can see progression. It is progressing because now we have been into active from 2016 all the way to now. And I was, last few days, I was watching Isa competing, and I could see after the first race and the second race, there was a lot of improvement in the second race also. So he puts on improving. So which, if he can stay on snow and stay on training, of which I might be requesting our government follow it up and assist, because he needs a lot of support so that he can do very well. Because he's a young boy, 18 years old, and he has a lot of room if he can get support. If he can get support from our government, I can see we might be among the Africans who will be doing good. And why not? Because I started it, and we don't want to leave any other country from Africa to lead us, because we started in 1998. So we need to be ahead, so that others will come and go ahead of us.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes. Let me talk to the appearance and how once you did prayer and just tell us about Isa getting into this sport. Going downhill at 120 kph is something, if you tell somebody, they would think that's a little bit crazy or suicidal. But seeing him grow in the sport over the years and eventually participating at the highest stage for any athlete, which is the Olympic Games.
It feels great because it's why I like skiing. I like the speed. I like the flow of skiing. So yeah, it feels great for me, and I hope to progress and level up myself in the future to improve my level. Yeah.
Okay, and to Papa, Mama, the kind of support that you're giving him now that he's moving into the senior ranks, and we know that alpine skiing can be quite a demanding sport, physically, financially, and even in terms of making sure that he improves a lot and can compete against the best in the world. Maybe we could have a Kenyan Alberto Tumba in the end. So
yeah, the kind of support that we give for Isa, we used to give a lot of support when they are young. It's much easier because the expenses are not very high. But when they arrive at the elite level, the support from the parents isn't totally enough. I'll even say it's impossible. So that's where he needs a structure where we have a ski federation from December 2024. We hope this is going to help structure his trainings throughout the year instead of just having a winter season. Before, he used to be in a ski club where he used to train on between December and April, and he's been doing this. He's been trying to do a light training alone, and we try to do it as a family and with the dad during summer and during summer seasons. And we are hoping to get more support so that he can train throughout the year, because we cannot follow up behind on a light level as parents.
Well, very interesting. And but Boyd, now we've got the Skiing Federation, and we missed Sabrina this time around. But also from your side, cross-country skiing, what are the opportunities and the Kenyans who we could be seeing in future games, or even in other cross-country? We can talk about cross-country skiing and also downhill skiing, the slaloms, the Super G, and all that.
At the moment, we are progressing. As I told you earlier, we have also a girl whom she was almost qualifying in cross-country skiing, actually, for Congo. But she couldn't manage in the last minute, but she was almost. So that one, it's promising that next year Olympics she will be there. And for the Alpine, we have Isa here, and also we haven't got an official retirement from Sabrina, so we still know that she's there. And maybe there are coming other athletes of which we have not get to read them now, but there are some who have been trying to contact us as a federation. They are in Europe, they are in America, so we are going to start looking for them, to read them. As I said earlier when I was in my Olympics, that we are requesting the families coming from Kenya, they are living in abroad, that they can let their kids train, so that can help us to have more athletes or more young athletes coming to join us. Because in Kenya, we can do it roller skiing, but reaching snow might be a little bit problem. But the easiest way for the others, because they live in snow countries, they can chip in and let their kids train as the way the parents of Visa did. Because I think that's what I was all the time requesting, and they did that. And also Sabrina's mother did that also. So you can see now we are venturing, or we are now going to be having some other disciplines like cross country and the others like maybe biathlon. Biathlon, they can do it also. Is as for now we have Isa can progress all the way to Super G. I know he can do that in future. So we are looking forward for that. But also my big request still goes to the government as the president of the Ski Federation in Kenya, that we really do need assistance. We are really working hard. We are in collaboration with FIS, and we are looking forward for the government. They have done this. They have done great this time. I heard that they chipped in, so we need more support. That's my big request, so that this sport can grow, and I'm very sure it will grow.
Let me come to you, Isa, because as you can see, we are talking much about things like Super G, Giant Slalom, the Alpine skiing. Just give us a breakdown of those three, the downhill skiing where you do it solo, the speeds and the intensity around each one of them.
Okay, so in skiing there is four discipline, four distinctive discipline. The first one is slalom. It's very short turn without too much speed and really technical. Also, there is the giant slalom. It's like it's approximately the same as the slalom, but is bigger turn and a bit more speed. And after there is the high speed discipline like Super G and downhill. So Super G is a really big turn with a really high speed, like as you said, 120 kilometers. And after there is the downhill is like a big super G with some really big turn, and sometimes we go just straight away on the slope. And yeah, sometimes in the World Cup they can go at 140 kilometers. That's all the four big disciplines in alpine skiing. Yeah. Also, when you on the downhill skiing, the distance of from the start to the finish line is bigger than on the slalom races because of the turn and of the speed.
Well, very good. And by the way, let's talk about the next 4 years. Where would you like to be, Issa? And by that time, I think we should be having more and more conversations. I should be making, I should be renewing my visa so that I can come. I mean, I can go back. I can go to Paris, see a couple of friends, and then come down, see you in action. I'm not used to very cold weather though. But where do you want to be in the next 4 years? I can see your dad is pointing at the next Winter Olympics. He wants you to be there again.
Yeah, it's the principal target is to be at the 2030 Olympics. It's gonna be tough if we are accompanied by the NOG, by the government. It's kind of a dream for us. But yeah, it's the real target. And for the result in skiing, I do my first Olympics 2 days ago. Sorry, my result was not even what I want, but I hope in the future, like if I go in the 2030, to have a better result. In the future, if I go to the 2030, I could be just concentrate on the result because this one was the first, and I want to go back the slope, so down the slope. Sorry. So yeah, in 2030, the target is to be at the Olympics with a real better level. If it's possible to do Super G, is a dream too. But the first one and the real target is to be at the 2030 Olympics and to grow up with to put and level up the winter sports in Kenya. So if I can do that, if I can participate for that with my sport, alpine skiing, yeah, it's the dream and the target for 2030.
One last question: what's your favorite Kenyan meal? Okay, he just decides to freeze when I'm just asking about that. Well, anyway.
I know the answer. I think chapati is for me the
Chapati. Chapati is the right one for you. Well, all right. So if I come to France, don't give me croissants. I'll get something else to do. The coffee I will take when you come to Kenya. I think we'll have to get you those. Thank you very much. It's about that pre and the family. Asante. Merci beaucoup. Asanteni sana and bona boy. Thank you very much.
Avec plaisir. Avec plaisir. Asante sana.
Thank you.
Thank you. Karibu.
Bye.
It's been fun. Speaking. Yeah, and boy, make him some chapati. So
yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much. From Milan, let's go back to Mombasa. Anmuro was speaking with Crispin Onyango, and also speaking with Leila Idi, who is a 3-star referee and judge in boxing.
You know, it's the IBA, the International Boxing Association, that selects the best referee and judges in the continent. So according to your track record, they look at your track record, so they choose from there. Yes.
So how important is it for Mombasa to have Leila as a 3-star referee?
Actually, it's very important. In fact, I have been yawning. Okay, I started this journey with my friend Lucas Malka, who was the director of Alliance Française. We talked and we noted that it's very important to empower our technical staff, like the referee and judges and the coaches. So we had a coaching course last year. In fact, it was a coaching stroke referee and judges course. So like 40 coaches graduated to be national coaches, Module 1. And we had the national referee and judges, we had 10 from Mombasa who graduated also. So it's very important because in our tournaments, like let's say Mombasa, if we have a tournament, we cannot improve our boxers if we don't have the technical staff. You know, the IBA rules are very dynamic and we have to be updated, and the people who must update us are the referee and judges. Yes.
So maybe you could tell us about the progress of the Ndondi Mashinani project.
Yeah, the Ndondi Mashinani project is still rolling. It's still going on. In fact, very soon we are going to unveil another phase of Ndondi Mashinani. We are still working on it, and we are bringing all the stakeholders on board, and we have talked to several people who have shown interest. So I think very soon we are going to kick off again.
You've talked about you trying to get more of the referees here in Mombasa. Maybe you could tell us how you're working with the national office to get more officials.
You know, working with the national office, I'm the second vice president of Boxing Federation of Kenya. That's very important to note. So we are working hand in hand with the national office and getting more officials. You know, it's the pinch. We are the people who feel the pinch about the officiating. Like in the last 2 years, we had no referee and judges. We had only 4 referee and judges active 4 referee and judges in Mombasa. So it was very tricky. Once we had a tournament, maybe three only could come to the tournament, which was very tricky, and it's against the IBA rules. So that's why we decided to train more referee and judges, and now we are good to go.
Maybe you could tell us about the activities you've lined up in Mombasa for the county boxing.
Yeah, next week we have the county intermediate championship, and in fact, as per the calendar as per the boxing calendar, we have a full year busy boxing schedule. In fact, even next month we have a very busy schedule. Yeah.
Maybe what would you tell those ones who want to join boxing in Mombasa? What are they supposed to do, and how are they supposed to go about it?
Joining boxing is all about is all about an individual. You know, boxing is an individual game, so you must make your own decision. But boxing is a good sport. You know, some people have the perception that boxing is a criminal sport, which is wrong. So they can just come. We have gyms across all the sub-counties. They can have my number. I give them the respective coaches of the gyms. They go, they join. Boxing is a good sport. Yes.
Maybe anything else we want to add to us, Madam Referee, because this is a proud moment. As the Secretary has said, we do not have so many women refereeing the boxing. I would want you to tell us, I'll take you back. Just tell us how you get to the first star, second star, and third star in details, like the training and all that, kindly.
Okay. I start with national here in Mombasa. It was on 2013. Okay. And then national ilikuwa 2013. Star 1 ilikuwa 2024 Tanzania. Tukaenda Tanzania tukatrain huko.
Ni kipi mnafanya katika hiyo training ndio uweze kupata hiyo star ya kwanza, ya pili na ya tatu? Hiyo ndio nataka unieleze into details. Ni nini? Labda mnaenda mazoezi nyi wenyewe, labda mnafundishwa ndondi vile iko. I want you to elaborate more.
Mwanzo tunaingia class asubuhi, tunasoma hizo rules zote. Kuna walimu wanatoka nje kutusomesha, si wa hapa. Alafu saa jioni tunaingia kwa ring sasa practical. Tunafanya hiyo mazoezi. Ukiona umekosea wanakurekebisha. Tunakaa kama 1 week hivyo, masomo, practical. Asubuhi tunaingia masomo, jioni tunafanya practical.
Hiyo ni star 1, 2, 3 is just the same thing that you do.
Yes. Alafu unafanya mtihani. Mtihani theory huwa ni 70 questions. Alafu na practical sasa juu ya ring.
Sawa, asante sana Wahome. That is all we have from Mombasa right now. You've heard what the referee has been doing and what the secretary has said about boxing in Mombasa. So back to you in studio, Wahome.
Thank you very much. And we're speaking with Leila Idi, who is the first woman in Eastern Central Africa to become a 3-star IBA referee and judge in boxing. Well, Anburu, thank you very much, and also for Crispino Cheng, and also to our friend, to our Winter Olympic team out in Milan for being able to join us, and also our pros speaking to us ahead of the magical Kenya Open. My name is Daniel Wahome. Time for me to sign off, and coming up next is Kurunzi Mashinani, followed by Tamrini with Sheila.
About the Lovers' Day, man. We're talking about Valentine's
and good vibes. Shout out to Sprite.
Everybody's laughing. Come on, let me see you laughing.
Every move is created in real time. Every reaction from the crowd shapes what happens next. Because in the cipher, the spotlight isn't assigned, it is earned.
In life, it's either two things. Either you live long or you die young. So if you're asked if you want to live long or die young, what would you choose? Of what? Of life. Celebration. A celebration of life.
The wrath of Mother Nature. 10 counties are on the brink, with over 10 million people in need of food aid. Livestock is dying, and children are being driven out of schools as drought batters the nation. We go beyond the headlines with reporters on the ground in Turkana, Wajir, Tana River, and Kitui counties for an in-depth look at the evolving humanitarian, economic, and environmental impact on communities across the country. Tune in to KBC Channel 1 on Thursday, the 19th February for a comprehensive news coverage on the drought situation in the country.
It's new, exciting, and fun.
Nothing speaks to the heart more than good music. We are back, fresh, better than before.
And of course, bringing you great mixes, gossip, interviews from your favorite artists, both local and international.
With me, Kalondu Musimi, the baddest in the game. You better say my name, baby.
And of course, your boy, Mr. Vago Brito, the DJ.
You can only find these on
Club 1 Extra every Friday from 4:30 p.m.
Woo!